I want to talk a little bit about the journey we've been on, where we think legal services are going in the future. I'm an outsourcing lawyer, a technology lawyer. I like to say that's quite a dangerous combination in law. And let's go back to 2010, where I was a partner at a very large firm, and I'd just written what was known at home as the Jerry Maguire mission statement, a 7-page memo to the executive committee called Innovation Opportunities, where they failed to fire me, right? But it was clear that this wasn't going to change the ship. And the thing that was really struck me was I think that lawyers are fundamentally not delivering the business value they should be. Now, this may not be a surprise to most members of the audience here. It may not be a surprise when it comes out of the mouth of a lawyer, but this was certainly something that was very strong. We were very good at extracting value in terms of cash. We would typically put our rates up at 7% compounding a year. Less good in actually delivering value. This was a real problem to me. I don't know why, but it was a real problem to me. So we ran around the market. If you caught me at that time, you'd be in the bar and I'd be arranging glasses, always 3 of them. I'd be talking about how the IT and the LPO and the outsourcing law was. But fundamentally, we built a model which was senior onshore lawyers, all kind of ex-partner types. All our junior works offshore in South Africa, and we use an awful lot of technology. We build a lot of technology ourselves. I guess what we're most famous for is fixed price. And we do fixed price without any timing assumptions, which good luck finding that in the market elsewhere. So what we mean by that is your deal might take 3 times as long, but still charge the same amount, right? And people go, well, that's awesome, right? So I'm going to give you 3 reasons why we do fixed price. But the first reason is because people go, that's awesome, right? That's amazing. I want some of that. And then they go, well, that's great, but how do you do it, right? And the best way I can explain is it's like driving your kids to school in the morning, and if you leave 5 minutes early, you miss all the traffic, and you get there 20 minutes early. If you leave 5 minutes late, you get caught up in the traffic, and so on. You arrive 20 minutes late, and the point is, lawyers have never left early. So it's amazing what happens on these deals when you're not motivated to be stupid. So that's the first reason why we fix price. The second reason why we fix price is there is one statistic, and only one statistic that matters in the legal market. And to give a data point, yesterday, Weil Gotshal, who's a large American law firm, probably one of the highest, most blue chip law firms, let go 60 associates, 110 staff, and they shot 30 partners, which is 15% of their partnership. So the very top of the market is in serious pain. The lawyer is running a thing called, a firing watch or whatever it is, but they're basically tracking these law firms are quietly getting rid of their numbers in their pain, right? And the number you need to know if you're a lawyer, and you don't have to care about it, I can tell you anyway, is that from the 11th to the 100th law firm in this country by revenue, profitability is 25%. And 25% is awesome if you're IBM, but this is for lawyers, right? So that means the equity partners haven't been paid until out of that 25%. No one dividends out of a law firm. No one takes any money into investment. They just take it out as partners at the end of the year. So this number is important because you're already angry with your lawyers, right? And you don't like them. And you're saying, give me 5%, give me 10%, give me 40%, which is what a bunch of procurement folk told me, the category management of lawyers. They want that as discounts. And I'm trying to explain to them, I'm showing this graph, and it's kind of all tending down to 25%. And I'm saying this is the most important graph in law right now, because if you ask for a 5% discount, you told the equity partners they're taking a 20% pay cut. If you ask for a 40% discount, then they're going to sell their children in order to pay the associates to do your work, right? So how do we solve this problem, right? Because I kind of think, I'm with you, I think we're paying too much, right? How do we solve this problem? Well, that's the second reason why we fix price. So the way to do it is to do less work and to deliver more value. Right? This is complete antithesis to how lawyers think, which is all about maximizing hours. But if you're no longer in the maximizing hours business and you're in the maximizing value business, then there's an amazing amount you can do. We talk about it, we use the expression, there's no silver bullet, right? Which is a famous essay for sort of technologists in the room, which was talking about there was no step change written mid-80s, there was no step change available to software developers in terms of how to do massive change. What's interesting in retrospect was there was a step change in productivity that went on because lots of things happened. So we talk about the silver bullet, we talk about the silver shotgun shell. Cartridge in this country. And what by that we mean is there are lots of individual things which aren't huge in their own right, but will allow us to actually move the game forward. So we spend a lot of our time behind the scenes doing software development, working with machine learning, doing document automation, using offshoring, process innovation, business design, and all the rest of it, right? That is not a novelty to people outside the industry, but a bit of a shock inside the industry. And we think that's how you're going to take it forward. We think the number one game in town for the next few years, as we talk about abstraction, like the software world, we think that a lot of what's going to be going on is getting away from the busy noise of all these contracts with way too long, and everyone's struggling to understand what the damn point is, and taking that up to the next level to help people have a more principle-led, objective-led conversations in their deals and how they do it. And that's been very potent, I think, because that's going to allow a lot more self-service than lawyers realize. It's going to go on. So that's the second reason why we fixed price. But let's go back to value. My God, I'm running early. I'm the first one to beat the clock. Let's go back to value. So there is this huge challenge that your in-house legal departments are going on, a conversation they're having right now, which is about how to add value to the business. And I think sourcing functions sometimes struggle with this. A lot of people struggle with this, but I think lawyers are really bad at handling this. And we like to think that we're in the business value delivery. And what's become increasingly clear to us is that, and it's really driven by the billable hour, I think, is that these whole ways that these sourcing deals get done has become highly ritualized. Right? It's very much in the artifact creation business, the contracts and all the things. And it's fundamentally about busy work. And we think that's taken a lot of attention of objective-driven, goal-driven, business-driven sourcing. And I'm talking about sourcing right now. We think this happens in a lot of areas where legal services are being provided. And we think that the only way that we're going to get past that is to remove all the incentivization for busy work, to build what we would call the bionic lawyers, so that ultimately you've got people in the rooms who are doing stuff that software can't do, right? And that stuff is judgment calls and it's relationships, which we believe is a real contact sport. So we think the future of the legal industry is about relationships, it's about judgment calls, and it's an awful lot about software. And that's the kind of firm that we're trying to build, and it's an interesting experiment. It starts with fixed price. Thank you very much.